Hello, good evening, and welcome everyone back to the Overwatch All-Star Brawl, a tournament dedicated to the Tier 3 community. I am 3.007. I'll be your caster tonight while we handle some minor difficulties, but for now, welcome. It's good to have you here. We've got a bang-up match because this is, in fact, the grand finale of the tournament that has started on January 6th. That's right, we have Citizens going up against Scion Esports. Now, this is a rare case for this particular tournament. We've started out with a bunch of really phenomenal teams, and a lot of times we end up with a bit of a rematch scenario as teams dance from the winner's bracket down to the lower bracket, as we tactfully call it. But for now, as we get into the map selection, we are going to remind everyone that these teams are going up against a bit of a interesting scenario. This is not a direct rematch. We're actually looking at these teams meeting for the first time, I believe, in this tournament, as Scion Esports edged out Astray, setting Astray into the third place slot for the tournament, but that is going to leave Citizens and Scion Esports now fighting for the top two spots. Now, both teams are going to come away with a good little prize here, but as we all know, no one remembers the name of the second person to step onto the moon. Actually, like everyone does. It's actually really super famous. So, teams getting ready here. We're looking forward to seeing what they come out with, but yes. So as a general reminder, as we get started here in this particular grand finale, we want to remind everyone that if you're sticking around for this game or for the long haul, if you've been watching the tournament the whole time, or if this is your first time joining us tonight, we want to remind everyone that you can follow our channel here on Twitch to get notified of all our wonderful games, as a new tournament will be starting up, and there it is. It looks like the teams have, in fact, gone. I believe the first map has been selected now, and so usually we do get started on control type, so it's not a surprise really to see that Busan is going to be our start. Now, usually it is Lijiang Tower. Earlier this week, we got a taste of Eichenwald, which is always a bit of a shocker. So yes, as we were saying, follow the Twitch channel, grab us on YouTube, all the matches go up there, and of course, we have our Discord, the link of which will be posted into the Twitch chat repeatedly over and over and over again. And if you're feeling ever so inclined, you can drop us that hot, tasty subscription in Twitch. And honestly, if you're a Twitch Prime member also, you get that one free subscribe a month. Maybe throw it over here. I'm just saying, it's not really that bad of an option. You get exclusive emotes, you get all of the good times, and of course, you get that wonderful option to check us out pretty much whenever we're online. And of course, we're going to call you out on the stream as soon as we catch you, if you do it during a game, which of course, we're going to love it if you do. Now, we are going to get started here, eventually, but for now, we're going to be bringing in the companions, because now I have with me in the room, coming online very shortly, it is the wondrous, my very good friend, Sir Waltham. He is getting started. He's just getting hooked up. We have these NA production glorious, some people call them mishaps. I like to call them opportunities to excel.
Yes, Threep, good to be here. With a game as intense as these finals are going to be, you have to build up some of that suspense, some of that intensity. I'm just doing my part here to help the theme, the vibe of the general match getting going along.
Oh, absolutely. And so we're getting started on Busan, Sir Waltham. I do miss Lijiang Tower sometimes, and Busan has actually been used as a tiebreaker in the past. So what's our feelings on Busan?
I like Busan. It's as far as what we're going to be seeing, I don't expect too much of a shakeup here. I do expect kind of the standard Sigma, Ori, everything that's going to be coming out of those kinds of compositions. But Mecha Base, it's one of my favorite control point maps aside from maybe Command Center. On Lijiang, but overall I think it's going to be some good matches coming on. I'm very excited to see these teams get into it here very shortly, I'm hoping.
100% agree. And as a general reminder, in addition to all the social media that we just blasted at you all at once, I know you're probably still busy filling out your subscription. That's fine, take your time. But we also have the MVP poll going on right below the stream. As the game goes on, if you finally decided, this player is really rocking my socks, I gotta let him know, just go down there, drop that vote, and if your favorite wins, they're gonna be coming into the caster's booth after the match for a interview with yours truly and the Waltham truly. So it's kind of a big deal. They're going to get to be on the stream. They're going to let their voice be heard, so to speak, and have some good times.
Yes, we're going to be looking forward to that. I'm sure that there are a lot of names that chat, even the casual viewer will be very familiar with now as we go through this. And overall, again, very excited. I believe we are just waiting for the readies to go online before we get carried on into these grand finals 3. I can't wait.
This is going to be pretty pumped up. This is now, as we, getting started here on Busan, like, this is it. I was mentioning earlier before we got all together up here in the chat together, but this is it. Astray, and this is kind of rare as well. Astray, it's not going to be a Citizens Astray rematch. It's Citizens Scion Esports. And now I super love this matchup. Both these teams are crazy good. I feel like this is the first time in a while that we haven't had a direct repeat of the losers bracket, or rather of the semifinals.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It kind of changes things up. Normally, you see teams. It's kind of predictable, right? Like you said, we usually do see that repeat game. But Citizens versus Scion, very much looking forward to this. Also looking forward to seeing what these rosters come out within 5 minutes, as these gates are about to come unlocked. We're just gonna have to wait and see. With that being said, we are going to be starting here on Mecha Base. Do you have any other expectations, considering that the comps aren't quite locked in yet?
So there's been a little bit of a change in how the teams have been operating as of late. Orisa and Sigma have not seen as much selection as they used to. The teams have been electing for a more diverse team composition, and I'm super liking it. We're still stuck in the 2-2-2 for now. So with that being said, here come the teams leaping out of their spawns, and it's Rhine D.Va, and I am utterly impressed.
Yeah, and to very little surprise, we're going to be seeing the DPS as Reaper May. Not much difference there, and already the brawls are starting heavy.
Yeah, this is amazing. So the Divas are doing as much as they can with those little defense matrons to make it happen. The freezes are going down as well. May's making excellent use of their walls to try and isolate teammates just to get a kill. Supreme's immortality field is already gone, and Niche is going to be the first one to fall, no longer able to stay up. And this fight is definitely going the way of Citizens as they push Scion back. And it looks like the D.Va and the Lucio, more mobile members of the party, are sticking around to cap that point.
Yeah, and this kind of composition really shows you how powerful just a single Mei can be. If she's able to get behind some shields, able to get around some walls, able to lock down targets and get them taken out of the fight rather early on. And right now we're seeing a rotation come through from the side of Scion. It looks like they're going to be trying to go a little bit more directly on the point.
Yeah, they've actually even brought out the Orisa to get more barriers, and it's working out really well for them. Gummy now on the Orisa finishes off Korean Snack like it's their job. Supreme finds Zeus's head, and that looks like going to be with the D-Mech on the D.Va. Leo Cake's going down, not able to stay in there. Point's going to be flipped relatively quickly.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Leo Cake's going to be staying on this Mei as well. And it's going to be a late Blizzard thrown out by Boat just to try to retake point.
Wow, I am genuinely impressed. Korean Snack leaps in there, fire strikes the Jewel, finishes off Supreme. They are making a fantastic play at this point. Leo Cake's even grabbing Niche to finish it off. The point is contested, but not for long. That's an even faster flip than I was calling earlier.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Citizens looked like they had that fight pretty much lost. They looked like they were ready to kind of turn around, but then just out of nowhere, we see these ults be invested. Boat got a really nice Blizzard out, able to clear the point off, cause just enough chaos for Korean Snack. Come in, sweep with the hammer, and sweep with a couple kills.
Well, I guess you know what they say, Mei ults win fights. You heard it from this stream itself. The barriers are down now as well. Oh, look, it's another Mei ult. But Niche has actually been the first one to fall. Now, Jules decided to turn this fight right around, grabbing up 2 quick kills on Mercio and Zeus. Korean Snack follows. That's not going to be enough for them to stay in. I believe the point will flip here after a lovely little stall from that Moro.
Yeah, it's not going to quite be enough, and already we're kind of getting a preview of how this game is going to be looking. The back and forth already starting. We're going to see some ults come online. We're going to be seeing Gummy having that bongo. Quite impressive, considering I believe they started off on the D.Va. Leo Cake's also going to be having the D.Va bomb moving forward. That's going to give them the opportunity to kind of open up here, really clear out the space they want to take early on, and that's exactly what they're going to do with it.
Wow, the D.Va bomb goes rolling right down, but Zeus activates the Death Blossom, grabs Psy, Gummy goes down as well. D.Va doing fantastic work here. Mercio hoops away the Jewel. Another very quick fight and another quick retake for Citizens. This is turning into a very interesting back and forth. Teams are staying relatively equal, but I think Citizens is winning the more crucial engagements.
Yeah, it's also that they're winning them for longer, or the fights are taking longer once they have won them. It means they're able to build up more point percentage here. I mean, we saw where when Scion took it, they almost lost it right away. So they are really trying to get onto point and hold it for as long as possible. But the Mei wall coming and separating a lot of their teams is going to harm that.
Yeah, that was beautiful, but again, I guess we almost forgot to mention Scion Esports, as you may have noticed, had quite the ult bank racked up. Now, Boat trying to commit the mail.
Yeah, Boat tries to use that May ult, dies mid-animation for it. They are going to be losing that, which is pretty thankful if you're on the side of Scion. You hate to see another fight dovetail into a May ult. We know Korean Snack has that Earth Shatter online, so they may have tried to reclaim it right off the back, just like they did their first attack. And right now, both Ryan's just going to be looking to go into this with an Earth Shatter, not much else on the board. We'll have to see if these Ryans are able to get more value from one another.
So the positioning here by Citizens has proven to be fantastic. They immediately rotate around. Ooh, the early shatter comes out by Niche, but they get frozen. But oh, that was just enough for the fight to go Scion Esports' way. And Citizens, I think, are going to be looking to die very quickly here. Yeah, D.Va's taking the dive. They want to get back in here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and Korean Snack and Niche both kind of having the same idea, but Niche knew Korean Snack might be trying to go for that, goes from the side, hits them with their own Earth Shatter. The Maywall comes up to prevent most of the enemy team from following up. Just some great coordination and heads up on that Reinhardt.
Yeah, and the touch comes in from Korean Snack, having switched over to the Hammond for the stall. And now the Leo Cakes D.Va is here. They're stepping on the point. Supreme pops out yet another Coalescence because that ult is just up all the time. The May ult is down, and we know what we have to do here. We have to call it. May ults win fights, and win fights they do. Death after death, kill after kill. Scion Esports is going to be locking this point up, lickety-split.
Yeah, Scion going to really be winning that fight off the back end of Sai's Blizzard, along with just some good old-fashioned clicking, some good old-fashioned damage coming through. Sai did a really nice thing of making sure the D.Va was frozen there, so we're going to be able to throw that Blizzard in without worrying about it being eaten. So now we are 1-0 up in favor of Scion. We're going to be going to downtown. Nice map going in forward.
I enjoy downtown. It's got that nice little skybox that so many of the Busan maps don't. And as well, if you've, again, been liking what you've been seeing, you got to remember, drop that MVP vote below just to make sure that we all know who your favorite player is and who you'd like to see get interviewed at the end of the stream. Meanwhile, we are going to be getting ready here. It's 3 seconds to go. Thanks for joining us. Let's get started. And out they come again, but Farah.
Yes, I like this. PMA Jellies and Sai on that pharmacy combo. Boat and Zeus might have a tough time kind of dealing with this. Not a lot of hit scan on the opposing side to really get that Farah locked down. And it looks like Citizens have put themselves in an uncomfortable spot of being locked inside that little theater building, meaning that the Farah can gain a lot of ult charge if they're able to just get doped up on.
Wow. Boat Icicles find the Where's My Jewel Tracer head, and that is a rough click to start the fight if you are Scion Esports. Now the Farah is going to be making no, look at that! It's viral kill on the May. That's not when you want to lose early.
Yeah, and a good res onto Where's My Jewel from Jellies for going the Farah for just a minute, but it looks like it may have been to the detriment of the team. Kills not really coming too fast on either side.
Which is amazing with a no barriers composition. Scion Esports has taken the field. They've almost built up to the barrage, and I have a feeling they're going to drop it if they don't even need it, though. Look at the massiveness. Korean Snack is going to grab that Tracer again. Niche is going ham, no pun intended.
Yeah, and Niche actually did a really crucial thing there at the very beginning of that fight and just killed the May. I believe it was a knockoff of the map or something along those lines, but if you get that May out of the line, the Hammond suddenly feels a lot freer to play around and not have to worry about getting slowed, CC'd, or just bullied out of existence. So overall, they took out the one target they needed to, and because of that, they were able to make this fight last just long enough for that Farah to get some really good value.
Speaking of Gummy getting hacked, we're seeing some hero switches having to come out, but it's not doing the work. Zeus presumably there to do some damage control on the Farah, but instead the barrage grabs 2. Getting, oh no, they actually end up murdering themselves. Boat also having switched onto this. Can't even remember her name anymore. Sombra. It's been that long since they've been on the field.
Yeah, on the plus side, Sai gonna be able to get that res up from PMA Jellies, and they got 2 kills off that barrage, so they're gonna feel pretty good about that. Just that and the mines were committed into this fight. Zeus now gonna be hard committing onto this McCree for the last couple of fights just to get that hit scan action up into the air. I anticipate that's also why we're seeing Boat perhaps trying to just get a hack, bring that Farah out of the sky as well. Does a good job against Hammonds.
And to be fair, this is good practice for the Thick Cree PTR patch that's out there right now. 250 health. I bet he wishes he had that now as Hammond goes diving into the back line. McCree manages to roll away with the bomb. The Tracer Bomb is down. It is not going to be enough to kill him, but he's under so much fire. Sai already taking out Squid, the Moira, another popular healer pick these days. Yes, Zeus does go down. Sai is the king of the skies.
At least they would be if they hadn't just been hacked by Boat, who's very close to building up that EMP, but gets knocked down with a couple of rockets. And right now, Boat has built up that EMP, but it's taking them so long to get that positioning set up with Sombra, get those hacks off. They tried to go for Supreme at the very beginning of that fight. Supreme too quick on their toes, hit him with an anti-nade. They're really gonna have to make this EMP happen, maybe in combo with the Diva Bomb. See if we can get some big numbers on the board next fight.
Yeah, Scion Esports is one fight away from winning this map, and that means Citizens has to bring in everything, but there's a lot of ults to go with. Where's my Jewel? Already eliminating the EMP from the fight. Zeus, however, grabs two. They grab the pharmacy right out of the sky. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but that might set the stage.
Yeah, it is certainly a good option here. The Leo Cakes getting the Diva Bomb kill off the back of a Rhine charge. Korean Snack so low.
I love. Oh, the defense matrix eats the tracer bomb as well. So the Boat with the EMP back on the field. If Citizens was ever going to win this fight, it has to be now. We're in overtime, and that's only going to get worse as the time goes down. Gummy finds Boat. The barrage is back though. Leo Cakes gets demeched instantaneously. Point presence is secure. That's round one.
Yeah, Scion Esports going to be taking that a clean 2-0 overall. They're not going to be too upset about that, but I gotta say their downtown looked a little bit more proficient than Mecha Base.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. Citizens looked like they were definitely the dominant force in the Mecha Bay arena, and it was just taken away and run away with by Scion Esports with that no barriers composition. Something that, in this day and age, I'm just super happy that we got to see it live and so successfully run. Speaking of which, it was really good. I don't know who best the player was. I have to keep hammering it home. Drop us that MVP. But meanwhile, we're going into the grand finals, map bans and selects.
Yeah, going to be some good options up on the board here. And I mean, good grief, there are so many so many things to talk about, right? Like I wanna hype up those May ults, those May blizzards in Mecha Base because they were so good. But then on the other end, you know, kind of in contrast on Mecha Base, we saw a lot of ults getting denied. You know, the Sombra EMP getting taken out of the fight right before they could use it. The Tracer Bomb getting eaten by the Diva Mech. Overall, I feel like there was kind of a significant difference in the way we saw those ults being utilized. And man, these teams are fighting like they want it. They're definitely trying to keep each other on their toes. So far, I think it's looking good. Scion Esports taking a little bit of an edge here. Definitely don't think it's out of Citizens' reach quite yet.
Yep, and it looks like we are going to be getting into it right now. And with the map pool as it stands, as a general reminder, they're not going to be able to select a control map right out of the gate. And I am genuinely up, so there it is. The Scion Esports has immediately banned Volskaya. No, so there's no... Oh, how fascinating, everyone. There are no map bans in the grand finals. So it looks like it's now going to be up to Citizens to simply pick the next map. So, and here we go. So that's interesting, though. That is a little bit of a tell. But... Or is it really? Because let's be honest, Waltham. Who really wants to go to Volskaya? Like, really?
I mean, it's certainly not the least pick maps we've seen this tournament. I'd say that honor probably goes to Watchpoint, which, you know,
okay,
this is a best of 7. So I'm holding my fingers crossed that we're gonna see it. In the end, probably not, but yeah. I think we're gonna have the option here. It looks like the pick will go through for Kings Row, I believe. That's what it's looking like so far.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what you're seeing. We're all seeing it. Kings Row. And yeah, there it is. All right, so Kings Row. But now we've got Reinhardt back in action. This is the best. I love this.
So the question for me becomes, since Reinhardt's back, this is Kings Row. There's potential for Farah to come in, you know, a very slim potential. She's been run occasionally back in the day on first point. Are we going to be seeing that Diva? Are we going to be seeing a Zarya? Are we going to be seeing an Orisa come in? There's quite a few options. There's quite a few moving parts. I'm loving seeing the Ryan Diva so far in execution, especially since, you know, Diva gives you a little bit more opportunity to negate those big value ults that come through from players like Mei, Tracer, or Zarya. In the end, I'm just not sure which one the teams are going to favor. They may even still go for a shield option here. That's certainly not the worst option on Kings Row.
Yeah, and honestly, Scion Esports did technically come away with Mecha Bay at the end of it with the Rhine Orisa combination, so I don't hate how they're performing with the double barriers. I also really didn't hate how they performed with no barriers whatsoever. So
Mhm.
it looks like the teams are R'ing up, they're ready to get rocking and rolling. Scion Esports has elected to begin this map on the defense. So as you're saying, Waltham, Pharah definitely a solid option here. I'm curious as to how citizens are going to react. Now they took a bit of a hit on Busan. What do you think they're going to be thinking going in here?
I think that they're just going to be trying to maintain that composure. That's really what they have to try to do. As far as team comps go, again, it's going to be hard to say. So many teams are kind of developing their own style in this flux. I mean, we've seen it. Even if there's a decided meta in these situations, which that's going to be a little bit harder now. There's going to be some teams that are kind of all over the place, still experimenting with new patch notes coming in. A lot of teams are kind of building up their own status. There are teams where we saw, some change ups. Like I believe it was on Monday we interviewed Melon. They're playing Doomfist still, and
Yeah.
that's working for their team. In this case, it looks like the Ball Diva is at least an option. I believe we saw Scion on it in Mecha Base, if my memory serves.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, it's up to anybody's guess. It looks like the Reaper May is going to be coming through on the defense. Not quite settled on that yet. There is always time for spawn swaps. Um, and overall, I'm just excited to see some good defense here. I'm expecting brawls on Kings Row.
Yeah. I have a feeling we are definitely going to be seeing it. So as we get started here, as a general reminder, it's time to get rocking on Kings Row. Team's going to be leaping out of spawn any minute now. I can barely contain myself. And yeah, here it comes. It's a Rhine Diva for both sides. I still don't really know what year of Overwatch this is, but the teams are going to be engaging here very quickly, taking the route through the hotel. Niche is there to meet them, and there is an... I swear I saw a Pharah there briefly, but Korean Snack actually on the offense going to be the first Reinhardt to be taken out of the game. Niche follows them after, but not before Gummy also picks up a few more tasty kills.
Yeah, and Diva and Moira kind of locked into the side statue room with the Mei wall. Overall, I gotta be honest, I thought the defense was gonna have a tough time with that first offensive Mei wall. It looks like they were able to turn it around, make their defensive Mei wall really count for them, section off Korean Snack into a very uncomfortable position. And right now, it's looking so good for them. They've held off for the first 45 seconds, but building up those ult charges are so crucial in kind of gaining your momentum here on defense.
Yeah, Filth Stall out onto Leo Cakes 2 means that the same ultimate momentum is not really going to be happening the same. So we have two really interesting healers here. Yeah, it's Supreme on the Baptiste and Squid on the Moira. Both generate ults very quickly. But in the Diva, against a Diva, rather, no one around to get those balls. And yes, the Immortality field is down for the defense. The Maywall does a decent job of bisecting them. No kills coming out yet, but it's going to be only a matter of time as Niche finds Korean Snack with that rocket hammer.
Yeah, that was a fascinating way of demonstrating how those Mei walls were different. One went kind of parallel with the entryway to hotel, one went perpendicular to it. The perpendicular one got a little bit more of a cut off from the rest of the, in this case, the defensive team, so they were able to get a lot more kills come in. And, I mean, speaking of value, we saw a lot of ults come through for the offense, or a few ults coming for the offense. They didn't really quite find much, but now the defense has quite a bank built up of their own. Supreme, the only one lacking its ult, so they might be trying to leverage a few of these going forward.
Oh, beautiful use of the Mei wall keeps the ult from being eaten by the Diva Matrix, and that's it. They only need to commit the ult that wins the fight, and they keep 4 in the bank. Meanwhile, it looks like Boat and Korean Snack are finally going to be building to their own Shatter Blizzard combo, and that, I think, might be what the offense needs to get through here.
Yeah, Leo Kicks has been having a tough time taking these late falls into the fight. Not quite their fault, it's just the nature of the character. And with this, we are going to be seeing, as you mentioned, Boat have that Blizzard online. They're going to have their chance to strike back. They really have to make it count. Gummy as well, if they want to hold this defense, really need to be on their toes for it.
Yep, Supreme also going to be building right back up to that big Field of Doom. The Coalescence is down from Squid. The Shatters go out and about. The Jewel, Death Blossom almost gets entirely eaten up, but not before Boat does go down. They do get their big Blizzard out. The bomb is in. It's not happening. Barriers now for the offense as Mercio drops it. Death Blossom comes out from Zeus. That picks up the Jewel counterpart, and kills are much harder to replace for the defense, so this might finally be the moment where Citizens gets their foothold.
It's looking like the defense is going to crack and break here. 6 members of the offense on point. There's no way the defense is going to be able to reliably recontest this. It looks like they're just going to back up, try to go for that choke defense here. They have to really get collected quickly, though, because that card's going to get moving any moment here, 3.
And there we go, Boat on the Doomfist to get back on the point just to make themselves known and be heard. They are going to be swapping back out over to the Mei. Definitely a solid choice from the other team, also running a Mei. And in the Streets phase, that's going to come into play.
It really will as well. Gummy going to be having this Diva Bomb online, ready to use it, whereas we saw Leo Cakes use theirs kind of in the mid-fight. Gummy has the option to really create a lot of havoc in the beginning of the fight. We'll have to see if they're going to initiate with it.
Speaking of initiating, it's actually going to be Boat. Oh, what a big boom! Shatter goes down. It grabs a bunch, and the Bomb follows after. Bomb, unfortunately, doesn't get any kills. Gone are the days of the Pocos. But that's still going to be a team wipe for Scion, showing again that this defense...
Goodbye, Leo Cakes. Taking a ride.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so overall, that was, I believe, 3 ults used for the defensive side. That was not the most efficient way of them winning that fight, especially since the Diva Bomb didn't quite net anything from the side of Gummy. But they're still going to be pretty close to their opponents in terms of ults. Korean Snack and Squid going to be the only ones on the offense having any ults, and a good Mei wall separating some of the targets from the upper window.
Yeah, that was fantastic. The Shatter goes down, grabs 2. Psy actually goes down immediately. Jewel going to be following shortly after. Excellent Shatter coming out from Korean Snack. That's going to be this fight in a nutshell, as Citizens makes very short work of it and finally gets some decent progress on that payload, if not for a little bit of the stall from the Jellies.
Yeah, Jelly's trying to get in there just to be, shave off as many seconds as possible. And Niche tried their best to recover from that Earth Shatter from Korean Snack, tried to pin Korean Snack so the wide swings wouldn't deal just a huge cleave of damage to the defending team. Didn't quite work out, as the rest of the team was able to fall without that Reinhardt shield kind of there in the way, blocking all the rest of the damage. Either way, best looking forward, trying to keep eyes out for the team. A nice sound area for Mercia.
Barriers go down on everyone except for Korean Snack. Without the help of those barriers, they go down. But it's still a decent fight, except for the fact that no Ryan shield means big Ryan Shatter coming out from the Niche Man. And that is going to be another little bit of that team wipe action. And probably another filthy stall out from Leo Cakes. Oh, the Shatter. The charge doesn't go. Oh, no.
Leo Cakes is having a rough time of it. Gotta be careful though that they don't get that mech back. They were close, but in the end, just gonna get run over, frozen, and that has really put the clock against the attackers here. They need to make something happen. Boat again has the Blizzard. We've seen these Blizzards turn the games around. Both teams gonna have them online, so it's gonna be whichever one can play a little bit better. That kind of goes into whichever Diva can mitigate it a little bit better, or if they can mitigate it at all. Other than that, a lot of ults online. PMA Jellies having the sound barrier over their counterpart, and early Blizzard in.
Yeah, Psy takes the initiative pretty quickly there. The bomb goes in, doesn't grab anyone, but that's going to be Korean Snack going down pretty quickly. Zeus immediately transfers into the Death Blossom after the Where's My Jewel kill has been confirmed. That doesn't result in any kills, but it looks like it clears everything out a bit. The bomb now goes out from Gummy. That actually grabs no one, but it does give Nitch the time to grab some sick murders. No, it does DMAC Leo Cakes. Psy picks up the finishing blow. I don't think there's going to be anyone left here to really make a contest unless the big... What a filthy Mei wall.
Yeah, the Mei wall coming in from Korean Snack had that Earth Shatter online. Was just about to get to the point, but instead gets blocked by a Mei wall. And that means that the point is going to be stopped just short of the second point in the middle of Streets phase. So overall, you got to be thinking you're pretty good if you're now on the offensive side. It's not the worst pace to set for yourself. Obviously going to be looking it's going to be looking pretty decently for Scion as they move ahead.
Yeah. Scion have a chance to win the map outright. Of course, so do Citizens, but the onus does fall onto a pretty hefty defense. And we've seen point A's crack like so much eggs. We've also seen point A's hold on a bit longer. And like I'm curious. So like many eggs. But in this instance, it is definitely going to be up to Citizens. It's their defense. They have their map win is riding entirely on their ability to keep Scion from pushing that cart exactly 0.01 meters further than their own. And we've seen some good Kings Row play before. We've been proven wrong before. But man, Scion Esports, they're looking pretty tasty. And Citizens, they're going to have to step it up.
Yeah, don't forget to keep your eyes peeled at home for anybody you think might be worthy of that MVP. There's certainly still a lot more action coming for you in this best of seven. So a long game ahead of us. Be sure to keep those eyes peeled. Let us know who you think is popping off. And, I don't want to speak too soon, but we're seeing some interesting picks come through from the offense. I'm hoping we're going to see Where's My Jewel stick around on this. We might not, however, as it might. It's going to be the Widow coming out for just a moment. It's just going to be some scouting. We're going to see the switch onto the Reaper. A little bit expected there, unless the Widow was just going to go for a couple early kills.
Yeah, I do miss my sniper times, but instead it's going to be a pretty solid team. Wonderful Maywall immediately segments off Korean Snacks from the rest of the team. They are able to get some healing and come up. Leo Cakes get frozen, however, and wow, Zeus loving that real quick, dropping Supreme, who plays the Ana right now, by the way. It's an interesting choice running into a Diva, but it looks like they're not going to be around to provide any healing. Defense stabilizing a tad. Offense, however, going to be bringing that pick back much faster than the defense will.
Yeah, the defense not quite suffering any kills just yet, but the offense still going to be going for it, still getting pretty aggressive. Maywall's coming in to really try to bail out this team. Niche has to be careful, though, doesn't have a lot of health pool to play around with.
Squid busts out that Coalescence so blank and quickly, it's amazing. Given that Gummy was eating up those orbs every chance they got. A beautiful, almost wipe from the defense coming out from Citizens. This is what we talk about by waking up. And yeah, they slam Supreme back into spawn so hard, they actually switch over to a Moira of their own.
Yeah, and it's looking like Scion going to be opting out of the Ana. They may not be wanting that nano boost. Instead, going to be opting for the Coalescence. PMA Jelly is already close to that sound barrier, and the Devo. No, Blizzard's going to be eaten by Leo Cakes.
Leo Cakes eats Size Blizzard, but instead, oh, the Blossom comes out, but it gets eliminated almost immediately. Now it's time for Where's My Jewel to drop it, and Korean Snack does go down, but it's been trades left and right. Leo Cakes does get demeched. It's looking pretty brawly, and it's going to be favoring the offense. And yeah, Squid is going to be on the retreat. They're pushed off the map. Progress is being made.
Yeah, and again, it looked like some of the members of Citizens might be trying to go for it, but in the end, they're just going to pull back. We might even be seeing some, nope, not going to be seeing any attempted swaps, just a Lucio going back to try to ferry the team so they can get to the choke as quick as possible. Looks like they will be able to saddle up here, get another choke defense going, as we were talking about when Scion were defending.
Yeah, I definitely like it. Korean Snack, though, they're coming up on the Shatter, and we've seen some big fat Shatters come out that really turn the tides of these fight. No May ult on either side, though, so like Waltham mentioned earlier, it's going to be up for the preemptive mid. There it is. Bam! Preemptive mid. Oh, no! Look at that placement. It's beautiful! But the kills are actually already in. We don't get any Diva Bomb murder, because Squid, once again, had Coalescence off cooldown.
Yeah, a lot of times in these kinds of games, it feels like the team with the Koa up first just wins the fight. Definitely saw it there. Luckily for the offense, that means that Supreme will have the first up of Coalescence in the next fight. They still kept it in their pocket, ready for next time. Gummy as well, not going to be opting for that Diva Bomb as their co-partner, or their opponent did in Leo Cakes. So a couple of abilities to work with on Scion's end that their opponents in the Citizens necessarily don't have.
And now both Scion and Boat are going to be dropping the Blizzards. They're both tossing them into the fight, but the Korean Snack takes outside with the Shatter actually on its own. Pretty much almost everyone's going to be frozen at this point, and it looks like this is going to be favoring the offense here. Korean Snack going to be the first Reinhardt to go. Maybe not the last. No, Niche is looking pretty good. Actually finds Boat in the fight. Leo Cakes struggling to hang in there along with their healers. Zeus falls. Big source of damage gone. Looks like the cart is going to get rolling here, but the stall is looking pretty good from Citizens. Lasts long enough to make a few more seconds get off the clock.
Yeah, not quite able to hold it at that choke as long as they might like, but they are able to make some progress. They really need to start shaping up here, though, because this is going to be the last position they are going to be able to defend, minus the cart moving back a few feet, if they're able to hold it. We did not see them make it all the way to that second point, so they're going to have to hold it just beyond this first archway, and a lot of distance to make before they actually get there. We're going to see how they do.
So they're here, they're ready to rocket it. The barriers are out, grabs every member of the team in Korean Snack. Thanks to the aggression from the barriers, Reinhardt gets to swing away, he takes him out. Zeus throws the Death Blossom into the fight, it grabs almost nothing. The counter Blossom from Jewel finds 3. No way to get out of that one. The bomb is down, the cart is rolling, there's no one here from Citizens to defend. Kings Row falling the way of Scion Esports.
Yeah, Scion now in a very favorable spot, going to be taking it here on Kings Row 2-0. Meaning that they're going to be feeling pretty comfortable, going to be looking pretty good as well. Where's My Jewel to top it off with a nice play of the game on that Reaper. Looks like it's probably going to be a Death Blossom, if I had to take a guess.
Yeah, the grand finale Death Blossom, no less, gets booped into a number of the other members of Citizens. It enables them to grab some tasty kills. That was just some really solid play all around from both teams, but again, that defense on Kings Row, that's rough, and if you can't finish the map, I have a feeling the other team's going to come from behind and just take it right out from under you.
It really can go that way with Kings Row sometimes. Overall, some really good play. You love seeing it. Man, I'll tell you what, Three. You know what I'm really looking forward to?
MVP?
Is MVP, but even more than MVP. I'm looking forward to watching this game again on YouTube, and all of you at home should be as well. So be sure you're following our YouTube account, Star Esports, to catch this tournament all over again if you missed any great moments or you just want to catch them again. And this time be like, oh, hey, I remember when that happens. You can absolutely do that as well. We got Discord. Link should be in the chat. We got Twitter. We got Twitch. Obviously, you're on the Twitch. We're having a good time. We love having you. MVP vote, all those generic endorsements that we love throwing out for us. We love seeing you guys. Love having you. This is a good finals. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, right. Like, this is intense. So we've seen Citizens, like, we know they're not out of the running yet, but Scion is making this look pretty definitive. We obviously can't rule anything out because who knows what can happen. And as noted, it's of course Citizens map pick once again. Now they've dropped on Busan. They've dropped King's Row. Where do we go from here?
It's gonna be tough, right? Because on downtown, it looked like Scion really had a handle of their wrecking ball play. But here, it looked like the Reinhardt May style play was much stronger from Scion as well. If you're Citizens, you need to try to come up with something that really plays to your strengths. I'm not quite sure what those strengths would be, at least in terms of the scope of today. We haven't really seen them come out too dominant. I think the closest they came was when we were on Mecha Base in Busan, and even then they didn't have a commanding hold of it for the entire time. It was pretty back and forth. Overall, I think you just need to get some real momentum moving forward. Get your mindset reset. I talk about that all the time. While I do have a moment here, would like to give a special thanks to Darman1 for the Prime sub.
Big
Thank
shout
you,
out.
my friend, for coming in here, supporting the stream, supporting the tournament, supporting these teams, and supporting us. We love it seeing you. We appreciate it, and we are still waiting on Citizens to get that vote in 3. Do you have any expectations?
I don't know. This is it. So I think based on the time that Citizens is taking to choose this next map, I think that they are doing the correct thing. Scion Esports, coming up from the lower bracket, has just taken 2 maps out from under them. I believe that they are taking the opportunity to reconvene. Get your there it is, Rialto. Oh, okay, what of this? Oh, now it's Overwatch. Now we're in it to win it. I like this.
I like Rialto too. It tells me that, you know, we're going to be seeing some Pharah. And
Yes.
that makes me worried for Citizens, because we saw Scion kind of operate, you know, to a pretty good degree. I believe it was Psy on the Pharah in downtown. They were able to get some pretty good value. So I think that there's going to be something to be said for both of these teams here. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Do you think maybe, so we saw that Zeus had swapped over onto the McCree, and that didn't necessarily do the damage that it needed to do until the Deadeye came out. That's a lot of Ds. And then the fight didn't really go Citizens' way. Anyway, now Busan not necessarily being the greatest map, especially when you're going up a no barriers composition that is literally their job is to be mobile and get in your backline. Hide your McCrees, hide your Annas, like it's not happening. Maybe this map's going to be a little different. Maybe with those tight corners and they get that option where maybe that Widowmaker actually comes back out. The sole purpose of the Widowmaker in the situation being, look, I see the Mercy in the sky, I see the Pharah, burst damage potential a lot higher, maybe even a Hanzo. We haven't not seen Citizens play much else other than the May Reaper, Rhine, Diva. Can't believe that word just came out of my mouth. Especially with the Moira and all that jazz. So yeah, like, we've got 2 more maps to play at the barest minimum, and I think Citizens is going to try and take this opportunity to extend the finals, and who knows, maybe even swing it back in their direction. Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. One thing's for sure, though, I don't think that Citizens are going to be able to just run a Diva into this Pharah and call it a day like we used to see. You know, some teams have the Diva player capable of, or go up against the Pharah players who allowed themselves to be taken in that sort of a direction. Overall, I think it's going to be kind of touchy as to if these teams are actually willing to give up that kind of that ability of themselves, whether the Diva is capable enough or the Pharah is, I don't want to say inferior enough like it's an insult, but isn't just able to keep up with the Diva's maneuverings. either way, we still have a few minutes here before these combinations come online, or before the rosters come online. And those of you at home, where's my Jewel? Just taking an early dip into the river. No, you guys can't quite see it, but it looks like there's an entire bath going on for Scion Esports. They're getting the team ready to wash it off and just move on to Rialto, taking a nice little dip as well.
We got some of those tasty little mind games going on. Who doesn't love a good mind game? Speaking of which, we are just about, we got 10 seconds left. Want to remind everyone, Walth mentioned it before, we're glad to have you. Don't forget to follow us here on Twitch and YouTube. Of course, you get the matches live and recorded. We're going to get rolling here. It's looking like they're going to be coming out, and it's going to be exactly the same heroes from before. And I have to say, this is fine because there's also no Pharah. I think that's actually going to be the saving grace here.
Yeah, I think Citizens will not be the ones to run this on offense. I think if anything, we're going to see Scion try to run that Pharah on the offense. Right now, they're going for the May Reaper. They might be thinking it applies a little bit more strong emphasis for their team composition and their player. And they're going to use the May wall actually to take high ground. I really like this. The high ground can be so crucial given certain heroes. Might be a little difficult in this situation with the Reaper, with the May, but they're certainly going to try to make it work. And it just gets so aggressive.
Wow. The dive bomb onto Niche was real. The May walls, however, go up and make it impossible for them to get out of there. Immortality field is also down, making it impossible to get any more kills. Beautiful May wall separation on just about everyone. Catches everyone up on the flip side except for Squid, who can't get around. And with that lack of healing, Korean Snack does go down. Offense, Citizens, a little bit back on the feet. Leo Cakes gets demeched. It looks like this one's definitely going the way of Scion, who have yet to... Nope, there it is. Nit does go down. That's interesting.
Yeah, Niche and then Sai getting taken down on the defense. Not the best situation, especially since a Blizzard's coming out. It's going to be locking down the cart. Doesn't seem like it caught anybody quite within its cold clutches, but it's going to be enough to repel the defense. They're going to be going back, trying not to take any more losses. And despite it just being one fight, there's already quite a few ultimates built up. Zeus was going for a little bit of a side sneak, a little bit of a Creeper Reaper style status going here. Not going to quite find it though.
The speed at which Boat generated that May ult is pretty flippin' impressive. They are going to have a little bit of interesting time pushing it through the choke here. The super... Oh, Niche jumps the big shatter, but that's going to be tons of kills coming off of the back of that. The barriers goes down very late into the fight for Citizens. Korean Snack throws in the shatter, grabs Surfstorm Jewel. Did I say late? I meant to say right on time. Gummy gets back into mech, but I think this might actually be it for the defense.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was calculated by the side of Citizens or the biggest risk they took in Rialto so far, but they just let the opposing team drain some ultimates. They drained the Sound Barrier, the Earth Shatter, the Diva Bomb, and then just countered it with a few ults of their own. The defense going to be striking back here with the Death Blossom, though.
Yeah, the boop onto Jewel flings them away. That's not before Mercy goes down. Another late, what I would refer to as a late ult. Now, we've said that about Citizens before on many previous of their games, but they have a tendency to stay in the fight and kind of maybe stick around longer than most people would think necessary. And to be fair, they have coaxed out a bunch of ults from Scion, and they're going to be coming in here with, at the barest minimum, a Blizzard.
Yeah, so there's going to be a little bit of a resource advantage here for the offense. They're going to have that Diva Bomb immediately. They want to use it right into the fight. They certainly can. Oh, but they need to be careful. Where's my Jewel? Reaping up. Doesn't seem like anybody on the team even noticed him, just ready to put those Hellfire shotguns into somebody's brisket.
I love it. Blizzard goes down in a slightly disadvantageous position. Leo Cakes drops the bomb onto the cart. No one was there to stick around and catch it. Jewel finds Boat, possibly thanks to their little bit of sneakiness. Supreme goes down. Niche follows. And here we go. This might be a little bit of steamrolling, the snowballing rather, that Citizens needs. Zeus putting in some overtime, and PMA Jelly's also going to go down from the Lucio duel. Side, that's even better. So Gummy, they're not going to be able to stick around here long enough. The cart is moving. They're going to have to run back onto it to do whatever stalling they can.
Yeah,
and Niche does show up in time to stop it.
Yeah, Niche going to be there just in time. The Maywall coming in to stop any healing from going onto the Reinhardt. The Sound Barrier even being committed in by Lucio or Mercio, as well as Jelly. Supreme investing the window as well. Neither team wants to lose this fight right now, but it's up to the gods to see which one's going to come out victorious. Looks like Citizens.
I think Citizens have declared that God is dead, and it's time for them to get on the field. Gummy, I think, must have the gold medal for point presence on the defensive side. I feel like every time Scion gets pushed off, it's them sticking around to make sure that as many seconds get taken off the clock as possible. And with that, Point B starts with 2 minutes and 30 left for Citizens, and a late little kill onto Supreme.
Yeah, I want to say, Three, this has been feeling like a game where Rialto specifically has been feeling like a game where just a ton of ults are being generated and used. It felt like we used 5 ults in that last fight, and we already have 6 online. Supreme having just swapped off as well from the Baptiste, so I don't know where they're pulling them out. They're just a magician with a hat pulling magic tricks out of there right now.
Yeah, Psy's ult is not going to get blocked this time around, and here come the kills. Korean Snack already the first to go. Citizens got them in a pretty good position, though. Zeus gets stunned out of an ult, and Niche finds the finds that charge kill, and Scion Esports looks like they are going to be stabilizing here. And yes, okay, so Leo Cakes manages to get out without the filthy stall this time around.
Yeah, not quite sure if Korean Snack intended to use that Earth Shatter. It didn't seem like it quite caught anybody. Either way, unfortunate, Korean's not going to be punished by the D.Va bomb because of that, and a very aggressive hold coming out from Scion. We've been seeing a lot of aggression on the defense coming out now, Three.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. Rather, they've stabilized on across the bridge, and now they're coming almost up into the spawn. The Maywall not able to stop Where's My Jewel from retreating, but that would have been the stagger of the century. Instead, it looks like Scion Esports has, quote, taken the high ground, so to speak.
Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Boat hopping that Blizzard, trying to just hold this bridge, but the Coalescence there able to provide a lot. Oh no, the boot! Mercio has the number of Where's My Jewel ready. As soon as that Reaper Death Blossom comes out, so do the boots.
Boosty, oh, this time instead of booping Jewel potentially into other teammates, Mercio has decided enough is enough and grabs a couple slick boop kills. That is going to pave the way for Citizens to make a very good play for point B. Scion's going to be ready for them, but that's gonna leave a taste in the mouth.
Yeah, and a big wall to start here from Boat coming in, trying to separate the tanks, not quite able to do it, and now a Blizzard going to be initiating from the defense.
And that's going to do some serious work. Korean Snack going to go down. Leo Cakes gets the D-Mech. Citizens not looking so amazing, but they've got 15 seconds left, so this is going to be stall time for them.
Oh, Boat got staggered a little. Oh my god, Boat's not even getting killed. Just got taken to the back lines, swung on hard by Niche. It's gonna be so difficult for the side of Citizens to pull anything back now. They have to use a Wrecking Ball just to get to point.
Yeah, Korean Snack is going to be there in time to get that overtime going. Squid actually has to use the Coalescence just to get there in time. They're going to leave Leo Cakes to do some stall. The Lucio is there, but the barriers are in. D.Va already down. The bomb is there to keep everyone else away. Cart used for cover, but it's looking like it's not good for Citizens as Scion Esports seals the deal almost with a Death Blossom. They've got the Coalescence of their own. It's cleanup time on Isle B.
Yeah, it's just going to be the Mei stalling out that ice form. You got to expect that it's not going to be too long for this world. The Blizzard actually coming in. Don't think they're going to be able to get anybody on point fast enough, but there certainly was an option there if a few more members had just been on the point. But as we've seen so many times, close does not quite cut it. We are once again going to be seeing the cart held at the second point of Streets.
All right, and so it's time for Scion Esports to begin their offense. We've seen a lot of good plays come out so far. I want to remind everyone about that MVP poll below the stream and that we are going to be interviewing on the stream the winner of said poll. So make sure your voice be heard. Make sure you let everyone know who you think is the greatest player of the match. Meanwhile, we got 20 seconds left before we get rocking here on the map change. And I'm super curious how this one's going to shake out. Citizens seeming like they've gotten some of that come from behind energy, that taking a lost fight and turning it into a won fight, coming back a little. They're not able to finish the map, but Rialto's a pretty difficult one to, clear out to begin with.
Yeah, overall, as I said, if any team's going to be coming up with this Pharah on the offense, I'm expecting it to be Scion. I don't think Citizens were necessarily quite prepared for it. They tried to use that D.Va a little bit. We've seen them, be quick to switch onto that D.Va. Wasn't quite able to keep up. Not really a factor in these games, but as we do have a little bit of time, we got to talk about the implications here for Citizens. If they don't win Rialto now 3, that does put them in a very unfavorable spot of being 3-0'd. And that's not a position I don't think anybody wants to be in with their back up against a wall.
Yeah, getting put into a match point scenario, that would not be good. So as we get started here, it's looking like the Scion Esports offense has begun, and it's almost the usual suspects, except for Supreme leaves with a Zenyatta Discord Orb. Let your voice be heard, and I'm digging it. Let's see how this one works out for him.
Yeah, and Zenyatta not quite able to put down as much healing. They are definitely going to be trying to leverage that Discord Orb, which is exactly what they're going to do onto Mercio. The positioning capabilities now significantly decreased for the defense here.
Yeah, so the niche gets segmented off a little bit there. Korean Snack actually going to be the first Reinhardt to fall, but Citizens is looking very nice here on the defense as Leo Cakes, I think, has had enough, and they're going literally ham, mono a mono, or like mech fist against mono, I guess.
Yeah, close enough. We're going to be seeing the defense actually come back together. They took the brawl into one of these side rooms. It was able to pan out for them. And because of that, D.Va going to get demeched and immediately ignored. They know they want to save that for the nice little cupcake on top at the very end. Gummy going to be put in that unfavorable position that all Divas are put in at the end of the day, where they're just the last one to be killed.
Yeah, Scion Esports actually looking like they maybe got a little too cocky there, or overconfident might be the right word. They started sending people back into what is definitely a fight that was still in the works. Gummy does manage to get back in the mech eventually, bless them. But here we go, Squid on the defense is going to have that Coalescence ready to go. Almost ults ready for Scion Esports. The Maywalls are going down for the zoning, and actually Citizens even uses theirs to get back up on the high ground. Again, I'm loving that play. The Coalescence is out by Squid. They're going to use it to get right back to his barriers. May ults are down both right on the card. The D.Va Bomb is in, and it actually does grab Korean Snack. Jewel had already down. Leo Cakes even eliminated by the, rather gets demexed by the bomb. And Scion Esports look like they finally found a groove here on the map.
Yeah, and now we're starting to see the reasoning for Supreme on that Zenyatta come into the light. That May Blizzard comes out, they're able to pop that Transcendence, and barring some extreme focus fire, the Zenyatta Transcendence able to keep everybody up and alive for the time being. And right now, it looks like Scion Esports are getting that cart so very close to that first cap, not going to quite make it though.
Citizens going to be dropping the barriers to go into the fight. The Shatter goes down, grabs D.Va and Reinhardt. Korean Snack actually going to be the one to go down as a result. Zeus's Blossom almost gets entirely eaten up. Niche is going to go down, maybe a little bit too aggressive. Took some damage maybe from the Death Blossom, both finding the kill regardless. And once again, some Scion Esports damage coming out down the line. Again, kills from the offense a little bit easier to replenish. And that Discord Orb doing some serious work here.
Yeah, I mean, Zenyatta's Discord Orb can provide so much damage increase. It is incredible. And with first point already captured, Scion Esports certainly on the good foot. PMA Jelly is already getting aggressive, taking out Boat. That's going to make the next stall phase or the next full fight going to really take a little bit longer than perhaps the side of Citizens would really appreciate, especially since their Lucio is going to be one of the later players to kind of come out into the field.
All right, so here we go. The high ground is going to be accessed by both teams, and Citizens is coming right on them. Beautiful Maywall. Going to be separating the Reinhardt and the Reaper out, but Citizens counters with a wall of their own. They're going to survive. The Transcendence is up. It's popped to save Zenyatta's life, maybe to even just keep them in the fight. I don't know if that necessarily is going to be the right option. We'll see. They might just be wanting to switch, but Citizens looking very good here. Kills coming out from both sides as the trades, however, start to come in. The Blizzard committed to the fight, and it looks like that was, in fact, the correct decision. Scion Esports starting to get some cleanup action going.
Yeah, and Boat, once again, we had a unfortunate instance of May ult cancellation. Boat going to be trying for that Blizzard, instead gets frozen midway through the animation. That is some unfortunate timing there. Somebody's going to have to contest. It looks like it's going to try to be Korean Snack, but not for long.
As Boat is back out on the Sombra, they immediately get Gummy and remove all of their cooldowns. The barriers is in, though! Boat finds Supreme, but no, there's no one on the cart!
Unfortunate for the side of Citizens. Scion Esports going to be taking that. The big cap coming in, no contest. You hate to see it, Threep. You hate to see it.
Scion pushed them away, I think. I think there was those boops coming out. It's, you can't even say that there was the boops. Because they were running the Zenyatta. This is, that's rough. That's so rough. Whatever the positioning is that Scion Esports was able to pull there, Citizens just not able to push through that front line. The cart just rolls right in at the end. Yeah, there it is. They had the jellies on the booptasticness.
Yeah, and a lot of good sound barriers coming in. Obviously, the cards reading that PMA Jelly is definitely pulling a little bit of their weight. And overall, I think the support play there, especially from Scion, was really well crafted. I liked seeing the Zenyatta come out, not just because I'm a fan of supports that actually, can click heads, but also because it provides a new aspect for the opposing team to kind of have to contend with. That D.Va's not going to be there to hide behind a shield. I mean, she's more freely going to be able to take that Discord orb, be able to take a lot more damage. So who knows? Zenyatta, possibility to be an MVP character? Who knows?
Yeah.
But since we're already talking about MVP, I'm going to go ahead and give that reminder out. Vote for yours down in the Twitch chat below. We are in 3-0 position, meaning that we are potentially getting towards our last game. It's not looking great for Citizens, but if you want them to come back, you might need to show them a little bit of that love in chat, in the votes, in MVP. Let us know, let them know, let Scion know as well. If you're a fan of Scion, definitely show them some love as well. As we get going here, it's going to be on Citizens to pick the next map once again.
It is indeed. And yeah, just looking at the monitor, quick after that end of that fight, there was the shatter that went down, and then the charge and the boop pushing Leo Cake's stunned mech just off the payload, and the rest of the team just made it happen. It's such good play, but it puts Citizens in such a rough spot. And so they have to pick the map. We aren't going to be going back to an escort map for map number 4. So this is Citizens' big chance, or rather their last chance. Or potentially the start of 3 more chances. I've seen reverse sweeps happen, and, you know, they're always super fun and exciting. For now, I think what Citizens might need to do is change their paradigm a little bit. They've been going about this picking the same heroes time after time. Scion Esports has been showing bizarre quantity of flexibility, I will call it, for this particular patch, in the era where, yeah, some tanks have been nerfed a bit. We haven't seen D.Va play in a while, but I think it's safe to say now that D.Va's here to stay, along with the Reinhardt, until, you know, something else changes in the current situation. You know, developer update that got dropped recently might suggest that based on hero pools and all that jazz. For now, though, if Citizens really want to make this particular composition that they're running work, where do we think they have to go?
Citizens, again, we talked about it. You have to start looking at where they excel over Scion. And that's kind of tough. I think that they showed a little bit of proficiency on the Ryan Ori, if I remember correctly. It looked like it might try to come out for them there. It just didn't pan out on Mecha base. But it doesn't... I like seeing the Leo Cakes on the D.Va. I think it's a fair choice, but it doesn't seem like it's the composition that allows them to flourish the most. Now, obviously, you know, I'm not in the team comms. I have no idea what could possibly go through their minds when they are picking their teams. Maybe D.Va is better for them, but so far the results have shown that, you know, maybe they go back to something a little bit more fundamental. I mean, obviously they had to be extremely successful prior to the D.Va patch, as this tournament's been going on all month. Maybe they go back to that a little bit. Yes, it does imply that you might lean on Sigma a little bit more, and I know that's not necessarily what teams want to hear with the changes that have gone through with Sigma, but you got to start looking for something outside the box, Threep, and I think that might be an avenue that Citizens can lean on just a little bit.
Right? Exactly. There's got to be something that they can pull in here. Because this is it. This is the moment. This is the difference between second place and reverse sweeping up to first. This is where you gotta either push it through or, you know, keep running the same thing. Now Oasis has been selected, and I am excited. Also possibly a sub.
Yeah, no, we're just going to be seeing a restart come in. So I'm going to be taking a few moments while the rest of the players do take their time to get into a match, which is not a problem, obviously. We expect a few technical difficulties throughout each of these games. We allow for that kind of time, so certainly not any concern, nothing to be worried about. But Citizens picking Oasis has me a little bit apprehensive. We know that Oasis can really be a good Pharah map.
Yep.
And Citizens, I don't know if they're necessarily prepared for this. If the Pharah does get run, I think University might be their best chance to really get an early foot in the door of Oasis. I think you have to hope that University is one of the first 2 that come out. That indoorsy style map, I think, can really favor the playstyle we've seen work best for them so far.
Yeah, and I think I really have no choice to agree other than just the sheer quantity of wins that Scion's been putting up on the board. But that's not to say that, you know, Citizens' May walls have been specifically lacking. For example, one of the most prolific tools we're going to see if we do end up at University. The ability of the May hero, Boat and Psy, have just been going at it constantly, and May has just been so good for it. Now, it's not going to be University. Unfortunately, it's actually going to be the map that I think Citizens should be most scared of in terms of possibly Scion Esports bringing out that Pharah.
Yeah, this map and Gardens, I believe this is City Center. I always want to say everything that I don't know is just City Center. So I'm going to say City Center.
It's City Center.
Is just this and Gardens the most likely opportunities for Pharah. I'm not sure that the Pharah is actually going to be run here, although this does kind of raise some options. There are some high grounds that can be taken advantage of, which means that medium to long range hit scans suddenly look a little bit more favorable. I think there's quite a few different potentials we have coming online. Even Dive, we've seen Dive come through on these types of maps before. Certainly not unforeseeable. I think back in the early matches of the month, we saw a Sigma Winston dive or maybe a Ball Winston dive. So I don't think that that's necessarily out of the box either yet.
Yeah, the dive potential from the heroes that are on the board certainly is doable, so to speak. I just don't know if that's going to be what actually comes out of the gate. As we get started here on Oasis, actually, my friends watching with us, it's literally one of the most traditional dives ever, but it's just with an Ana. This is going to be interesting. Now, once again, it is the identical composition coming out from Citizens. Let's see how it goes up against a dive.
Yeah, in this case, Citizens not going to be able to define themselves by what they pick, but more so what they play against. And an early kill on the Jelly certainly opens things up, but Korean Snack falling does not help against the dive.
Healer into tank, that would be a good trade, except Sai on the on the Genji, who really has almost no defenses whatsoever against a Moira, is picked off predictably by that particular character. Hilariously, the dive is actually going to be setting up on the map. Winston taking a lot of percentage. They're going to have to duck away. Leo Cakes gets a little bit of that action. Squid, of course, has the Coalescence ready to rock and roll. Korean Snack is back on the field, ready to play. And the dive isn't really looking so good, except Mitch actually already has 1,000 HP for Citizens to use for ult charge.
Yeah, and it's already going to be used pretty effectively. With Transcendence coming out in response to a Death Boss side taking down Zeus with their own Death Boss, and you hate to see it happen. But right now, this fight is looking so messy. It doesn't look like Citizens are going to be able to lock it down. And really, that's very impressive considering Gummy and Niche were down in the health pools for so long. They have just a Zenyatta and a Lucio to keep them healed up, and those are not heal-intensive support characters. They're often used more so for their other utility, the damage increase and the speed boost. And the fact that Squid and Mercio not quite able to out-heal that, or at least the team not able to capitalize on those weak targets, it really says something. Citizens looking a little bit shaken here. They're going to try to regroup and they have an early opening here.
That's the regroup you want with the big kill onto Where's My Jewel, but Boat is the one who goes down immediately. No Blizzard for this fight. Sai does get knocked down, predictably. The Diva Bomb is in, and that's going to be, once again, just more percentage as Niche goes into the Winston. He actually gets solo shattered and immediately eliminated. This is probably going to be Citizens' retake chance, though Scion is definitely not going to let them have it for free.
Yeah, you're definitely okay with getting with using that Earth Shatter if you're Korean Snack. It was that or potentially lose Squid, who has that Coalescence, and they're in fact using it for this fight, so they really needed to keep that ult in the game, which means comboing that Winston out of existence. And even still, we're seeing so much resilience come out from this now defending Scion. They just do not want to let go.
Yeah, fast heroes get back to the point fast. Where's My Jewel picking up a 2K? Grabs Zeus and Squid pretty quickly. And that's actually going to be genuine. Even the bomb! Where's My Jewel is going crazy on the Tracer. Sai picks up the kill onto Boat. Scion Esports not only holds the point, they have a Transcendence coming online. Sai might be looking at for the Dragon Blade. Boat onto a Sombra. This is it!
Yeah, this is the last opportunity before Citizens really take a big knee in this fight so far.
Wow.
And early on, Korean Snack falling. It is not looking great, but the hack onto Jewel is a good opening. And potentially.
Yeah. It's just too much. Sai even drops the Dragon Blade. He goes in with the blade. He, of course, grabs Mercio. Zeus picking up a 2K on the Jewel and Supreme. That's a Zenyatta, a big... Well, he already cast the Transcendence, but that Discord's definitely going to be welcome left from the fight by Citizens. And yeah, they're starting to put some more damage in with Squid, but Sai finds Zeus, one of the major damage dealers. And Citizens, now they are going to be bringing in Squid with the Coalescence. They might have a shot here.
Yeah, I mean, they probably won't have a great chance considering that respawns are going to be back in, but they will have time to perhaps get another full team fight here, which is more than you can expect a lot of times. Sai taking down dangerously low, that Genji not going to be able to build up Blade, so even if they do get the flip, that Genji's not going to have as much ult charge as they might.
I love Korean Snack coming out here on the Hammond and doing some serious work. 2 melee kills, wrapping it up. The Tracer stick onto Mercio. Man, with the barriers online too, not even a chance. So that's a huge ultimate taken away from this overtime fight, and it is getting very low. If Scion can stick in here and take it, they're going to push Citizens off almost instantaneously. Citizens does need to take this to come back in, and they're putting up a really good fight for it.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this composition is that they're able to play it fast. Where's my Jewel able to dip in, dip out. The Diva Bomb going in, not taking anything out, but Sai will do that on their own. And Diva Bomb's getting traded right now. And again, they're able to dip in, dip out so fast that it forces the defensive Citizens to have to use all their abilities just to try to manage.
Sai eliminates Zeus with the Dragon Blade, the barriers are in, and yeah, another David stick. And yes, the minute Citizens gets pushed away from the point, that's it. It's been so long. The Tiger goes down instantaneously. So Scion Esports with the dive on the Citizens, that's a mental hit. Citizens, if this is the time that they come from behind, you got it. At this point, points-wise, round-wise, you're the underdog, and everyone loves rooting for it. So let's get this grand finals pumping. I want to see more maps.
Yeah, Scion, they ran that dive pretty clean against the opposition of the Citizens. You got to really think that Citizens, you know, it feels like Citizens are just kind of in autopilot and they don't realize the car is going into oncoming traffic right now. There are definitely options you can choose to play against a dive composition that may operate a little bit better than what you're choosing. The Sombra, I think, was at least an attempt coming through, but they weren't quite able to make it correct or utilize it enough to where they were able to get that high value. It looks like the dive, not the option for Scion this time. Instead, they're going for a no shield composition with the Roadhog Zarya. They might be taking this a little bit more casually, curious to see how it plays.
This looks like a little bit of the mind games action. I think Citizens is having none of it. Supreme goes down instantaneously, because of course it does. Hilariously though, that actually pulls them off the point. Sai is going to find Zeus. Where's my Jewel does go down with some sick icicles coming out from boat. There's no way that Scion Esports is going to be the first take here.
Yeah, I'm curious if they ran this competition in perhaps preparation for a Pharaoh. We were talking a little bit about that. But now that they see the Pharaoh's not coming in, where's my Jewel going off of the Soldier and going on to the McCree. So there is some reclamation territory coming in. The side taking down both, though, is a decent opening. That Duke is able to do a lot of that burst damage.
Yeah, fascinating that Sai is actually the one picking up most of the kills here. Squid gets a bit of that sleep dart action. Sai does go down. The Diva defense matrix from Leo Cakes, fantastic. Getting that fire strike away from their fallen companion, their napping companion. I wish my boss treated me sleeping on the job better. And yeah, Gummy, the Rocket Hammer, that's just a lot of damage coming in. And the McCree also makes it happen with the Shatter. The Shatter goes out, but it's Korean Snack who actually falls.
Yeah, and that had the potential to be such a good opportunity, but with Korean Snack taking the drop, there was nobody to really swing on that, just Leo Cakes trying to do their best. And with this, it looks like Gummy going onto the Reinhardt may have been what was necessary here. That Roadhog not quite doing it. Where's my Jewel even going to pop that Deadeye just to ensure the fight gets one, nobody able to come back onto point without taking a bullet to the forehead.
You know, one of the things I actually genuinely honestly do miss about GOATS was the sheer intercoordination, smartass, the sheer coordination required from your Zarya and your Brigitte. And now we're seeing that Niche built some serious charge in that last fight. They are demonstrating almost some of the most fantastic bubble usage I've seen in a long time, mostly because we haven't seen bubble usage in a long time. So it looks like Citizens coming onto the point. They're angry, they want some blood, and it looks like they're going to get it. Sai can be the first one to go down. The barriers is in for most of the team members, but Mercio drops one just a little bit more than that. Gummy gonna fall down as a result of that aggression. Scion, I think, is gonna be getting pushed off here.
Yeah, and I just realized Gummy is now the one on this main tank role. Kind of interesting to see them swap tank players like that. Wonder if there's any particular reason for that, or they might just be trying it out, seeing what works, seeing if they're able to hold this point. And it looks like they're not going to quite be able to. Citizens able to get some progress on point. Korean Snack needs to just make sure they don't drop from that anti-nade.
Whoa! Zeus! He drops the Death Blossom and gets shattered immediately. Niche with so much, not so much energy, but enough into the fight. Leo Cakes does actually get the bomb onto McCree, which of course that makes a lot of sense. McCree doesn't really have a lot of ways to get out of there. Scion Esports, Jebaited 3.007 once again. They are holding on to the point, and they're actually doing a decent job of it. Grav tossed out, no one around for it though.
Yeah, it looks like Sai was perhaps holding that Meteor Strike for the Grav. Didn't quite have the combos for it. Waiting up top for some combos to really come through, for those ability combos to come through. And now an early kill advantage onto the side of Citizens. This might be really making it happen.
Except a Bastion. There's a Bastion on the field. Where's my Jewel? Completely uncontested. PMA Jellies just gets to run around to have a good time. And now it's up to Citizens to just unseat this. They actually throw a Blizzard into it. It's gonna work, but that's an ult that absolutely is gonna retake. Ah, there it is. Citizens does retake it eventually. Jewel not having set up on the point.
Yeah, Jewel got the nano, in fact, I believe, from Supreme on that Bastion just to bolster down a little bit. Jewel going to be switching back onto the McCree. They may not have wanted to push on the point, so they may have just been setting up a Bastion to lock down those lines of sights, make the options for play from Citizens come through a little more restrictively. Didn't quite work out that way. Maywall's going heavy onto Gummy, and a lot of lockdown on that Reinhardt.
Yeah, Gummy just got used and abused right there. There was no way they were going to be getting out of there alive, and if they did, well then, you know, miracles do happen. Niche coming up on another Grav, though. Gummy also picking up the Shatter. It's pretty much one-fight territory for both teams, or, you know, extended one-fight territory, and Citizens is literally fighting for their life in this match.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing them set up here. They're going on to the Genji now. It looks like they might just be having the time here with it. And the Zarya Grav actually going to be eaten. Leo Cake's really performing well on this diva. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but they did what they needed to do.
What is this? Citizens had this fight locked up. Zeus drops the Blossom. They're going down. Okay, here we go. Citizens is wrapping it up. The nano boost does go on to Sai briefly. They get frozen for the trouble. Overtime sticking down. There's no one left from Citizens. We're going to the third round, so to speak, of Oasis, and this could be the start.
Yeah, Citizens have been given a very temporary state of execution. We're going 1-1 here on Oasis. And now it's going to be the map I've been excited, the sub-map I've been most excited to see. We're going to go to University, curious to see the options that the teams are going to be rolling out with. This is probably the most brawly of the maps that we see. You don't see dive here very much ever. This was the most iconic Rhine Zarya map. You know, in terms of King of the Hill, anyway, except maybe Command Center. And right now, with the diva coming into the play, we're going to have to see what these teams opt for.
All right, so here we go. They're coming out of spawn. It looked like we might have gotten some Orisa play, but that is not to be the case. It's a perfect mirror comp setup. Both teams back to what we almost started out with, and they are clashing immediately on the point. Who said Lucio got a speed nerf somewhere along the line of Overwatch? The hammers are going nuts. The aggression coming out from Niche is pretty crazy. Korean Snack holding on there, though. They're getting low, and it's Gummy trapped on the wrong side of a Maywall.
Yeah, and Gummy gonna be falling a little bit for their potential hubris there, and now Citizens looking like they know how to play. They're certainly getting some early kills in this fight. Korean's not getting locked down, not gonna quite be taken out of the fight. However, it is just a little bit of stall, prevent that point from flipping as much as possible. Citizens eventually gonna capture it in the end, though, and this is what we wanted to see from them all along.
Yeah, they build up some serious ult percentage. For once, Supreme not going to be the first to pull off a coalescence here. Squid looking P-Strunk also can call out Boat. That's a truckload of May ult percentage. And it's up to Scion now to get, again, almost on the wrong side of a May wall. They kind of recoalesce their Jewel, actually grabs Boat. Maybe thinking that there was a little more aggression to be had there. And that's the trade onto Niche, though. Jewel, however, picks up Zeus for the trouble. And Scion Esports takes the kill lead and probably the point after the cleanup.
Yeah, this is looking very familiar of Mecha Base, where the fights are going back and forth so far. I was praising Citizens so highly, but perhaps they got just a bit too carried away. They peeked a little too far forward. That Maywall caught him off guard, and Boat just leapt into the waiting arms of Jewel on that Reaper. Feeding that May, perhaps not the best option there. Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but I'm going to take that loss either way. Take it on the chin, roll up. It looks like they're getting set for a left side push. They're going to have to see if that finds any more success.
A dirty fire strike going in there. The amount of ults from both sides is pretty insane. The blizzards come out. No eats this time, as well as the shatter. Sai's gonna be the first one to find Squid. The Diva Bomb goes out, grabbing no one. The Death Blossom also committed by Where's My Jewel, and that does the cleanup you needed. Zeus building up to it, not able to get it out into the fight, which is probably fine by Citizens. The percentage overtakes, and Scion takes the lead.
Yeah, and both teams investing 4 ultimates into that fight. That was a very expensive fight for both sides. So right now, it's looking like Citizens, fairly even with their ultimate play, so they're not going to be able to lean too heavily on it. They just have to be playing a little bit smarter here. Try to catch somebody out maybe with the Death Blossom or the Coalescence. That's exactly what they're going to initiate with, both of them, in fact.
Another Apocalypse, but this time Zeus gets D.Va bombed out of their Death Blossom, which also does not pick up any kills. It's a shattered shield from Reinhardt. Leo Cake's also going to be going down quite quickly. Korean Snack stopping the charge from Niche, but that just gives PMA Jellies just enough time to get the murder on. It's 70% from Scion, and this is the Scion we've seen the whole time. Citizens very strong at the outset. This is where they got to come through.
Yeah, they need to make something happen. They need to really pull through if they want it. And I'm sure they do. The Mei wall coming in is just going to be blocking up, but they have to be careful. Jules ready to creep in right behind them. Reinhardt spots him out, though, taken out immediately.
Beautiful early kill. That's why footsteps are important to listen for. And the Mei wall separates out Korean Snack so beautifully. The rest of the team bust through, though! They make it happen! I love it! That should have been it. Niche even gets dunked down into the lower level by the sheer power of rocket hammers. And it's still Korean Snack that goes down first. Now, that is a Reinhardt trade. The Mei ult from side does come out, though. Gummy hunting heads with the Devo cannon. It's 99% for Scion Esports. Leo Cakes gets demacked. This looks like it's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone joining us on the street tonight. Korean Snacks commits a shatter. It grabs no one. They're again on the wrong side of a Mei wall, and that overtime is down.
Yeah, that is going to be it. Scion going to be having their way with a 4-0. Gonna be going in favor of them. And man, Citizens have definitely got to be licking their wounds after that. But at least we know who to be naming our Overwatch All-Stars Brawl champion for this month is definitely going to be 3.
Yeah, we've got it in the bag. Scion Esports, they played clearly one hell of a matchup here. And Citizens, they had a little bit of that coming back. They put a point on the board. You thought it could have been the start of a redemption arc, but the overwhelming might of Scion Esports just pushing it through constantly made it happen. And Citizens pushed their way through the upper bracket, and they coming away with second place and a little bit of some cash. And now you have a killer VOD to look at.
Yeah, this is absolutely going to be one of those learning experiences that they can definitely pull themselves up from. And while we do have a minute, folks, don't forget we pull. I did pull and poll. I'm about to go right into it. We're going to be having that MVP poll revealed here in just a few moments, so make sure you get in your last minute votes. Now's a better time than ever. I mean, it's a little late to the buzzer, but you now have all the information in front of you. Scion taking this away, but I definitely think that Citizens not out for some excellent plays coming through as well. Man, overall, this was a thrilling tournament, and given how this tournament went, I was not quite expecting a 4-0. We had a lot of 5-round games that went longer than this final. It's surprising to me.
It is indeed. And again, we've mentioned this before at the start of the roundup. This is one of the first times that the finale of the tournament does not just revolve into the semifinals rehash. This was Scion Esports having been knocked down into the lower bracket in round 2 by Team 2. And then Scion Esports decided, okay, well, I guess we just got to get our way back in. And so they did. And it was kind of unbelievable. They just rocked it. They whooped up on Astray, who had been knocked out by Citizens in round 4 with a 3-0. Citizens 3-1ing Astray. Scion Esports grabs Astray with another 3-0, coming up to take on Citizens. And you would have been forgiven for saying it would have been a closer match.
Yeah. I think that a lot of shock coming through. I think after I'd say about the second map, we kind of saw that it was really Citizens trying to struggle. They didn't seem that quick to adapt. I think that may have been an option where at least I personally would have liked to see them try something new. It's kind of like running into a wall. You're not really making any progress. Except this wall punches back and sweeps you 4-0 in the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl episode. Yeah,
it does, doesn't it? And speaking of the walls, again, like we called it out, Oasis. Neither team really got on the, I want to say that both teams did really well with their Mei ults. So it was both teams. Scion Boat rocking it on the Mei. Probably one of the most important cooldowns in the game right now is the Mei wall. And there were actually a couple times where both Citizens and Scion Esports looks like they were about to get someone on the wrong side of it. And the rest of the teams they just seem to react so well. When they need to bust through the wall, they do it. Otherwise, they find the hole in it. But Sir Waltham, I believe we have an announcement to make.
Yes, we do. It looks like the results of the MVP poll are in. You've heard enough of us talking and bantering about what we just saw. You're now ready to hear it from the player's perspective. We are going to be seeing Gummy hop into chat here in just a little bit. So in a few moments, once we can get everything all set up, Gummy going to be joining us in, of course, the off-tank role for Scion Esports. Very excited to get their perspective on things here, Reap. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. They even did a little bit of a stint as the Reinhardt of the team, and that did actually kind of work out quite a long time for the And it looks like we do, in fact, have Gummy in the chat here with us. Gummy, welcome and congratulations.
I didn't see you guys there. Hold on. Sorry, I was playing my music. Sorry, my bad.
We figured it was celebratory. Like, honestly.
Yeah. You know it.
Yeah, obviously Spirit's going to be running pretty high here, Gummy. Now, I want to go over what we just saw because it looked like you guys were having a little bit of fun on it here on Oasis as well.
Definitely.
I want to take it back a few maps. I want to go to Gardens, I believe it was. And I noticed that I think it was you playing main tank and Mitch playing the Zarya on Gardens. Was there any particular reason you guys decided to swap that up, or did you just kind of want to see it from the other side of the glass?
There was really no reason. Kind of just wanted to play Reinhardt. He wanted to play Zarya. Started off wanting to play Hog, but like it's not very good. So I switched over to the Reinhardt to be the alpha Chad, you know.
I dig it. It's I used to love me some pulled pork, but it's not. Yeah. You can't do it no more these days. But so loving the flexibility from you guys. That was super fun to watch. Now I gotta ask, because we saw it there on Oasis. If you had to pick between the, I guess we'll call it the Rhine Diva, the Reaper May kind of thing, or good old fashioned original gangster dive, which do you end up with? Which do you prefer?
I prefer dive.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
But like for the meta, it's definitely the Rhine Diva.
Yeah.
May Reaper, but like sometimes you just gotta pull out the dive.
Yeah, yep. And I think we saw it work to a very good degree. It looks like Citizens weren't quite able to get feet stationed on the point in Oasis, and it looked like you guys just kind of had it locked down. Is dive something you guys had trained for that map specifically, or is it something you guys kind of have in the back pocket should it ever, come back into vogue?
Honestly, we don't really practice dive like at all. We just heat of the moment decided to pull it out. Why not give it a try? We felt we were doing good on the Ryan Diva, wanted to mix it up for like the stream,
Yeah.
Make it more interesting to watch. Yeah.
I feel like it worked.
Yeah, certainly a little bit more interesting to play as well, no doubt.
So with that being said, we have this whole meta conversation in this match. Going into it, they're initially coming out of the spawns. It looks like it was getting a little hairy there on Busan before things really started to get locked up. Yeah. Pharah in that second round map was really the only time we saw it. Is Pharah a hero that you guys like to bring out a lot, or really was just Busan the right moment for it?
Sometimes we like to pull it out. We like to pull it out on like Rialto. Today we didn't. But like it's usually Busan and Rialto are like the main two that we pull it out on. Other than that, we just like stick to meta.
Yeah. Makes sense. I don't know if I said it to 3, but there were times where I'm thinking, all right, they're going on Rialto. We can expect to see Pharah here. All right, they're going on to Gardens. We can expect to see Pharah here, and we just didn't. And it was kind of a shame as a person who loves seeing Pharah. But overall, I thought you guys did it pretty well. Now, obviously, celebrations, big wins here at the Grand Finals, but what's kind of in the mind on the horizon for Scion Esports coming up in the future, Open Division, what have you?
For Open Division this weekend, we are going up against Old Man Strength.
Ooh.
We are prepared. We are going to dominate. We are going to get the 3L.
Oh, the confidence. I like it.
Yes,
I love this. Oh, man. Awesome. This is crazy. So now we have Scion Esports and
out.
Old Man Strength. I love it.
Yeah, definitely a match to be tuned in for. Do you guys have any plans to go into any future tournaments, returning to the Overwatch All-Stars Brawls, anything along those lines?
I'm pretty sure we're signed up for the next one. I would have to make sure, but I'm pretty sure.
I love it. Love it.
That's what we like to hear, and this is a good opportunity for me to say, if you're a fan of Gummy and his entire cadre of teammates on Scion Esports, make sure you tune in for us next month. But Gummy, unless Threep has any more questions for you, I'd like to give you the opportunity to say any shout-outs or any thanks you'd like to give anybody.
Yeah, I would like to shout out Cohesion for giving us
Mm.
the strats for today. He really helped out as the coach. I would like to shout out Niche. He was he spends hours reviewing, and
Oh.
it really helps. Like we were able to just understand what Citizens was gonna bring out. Sai looked a little rough at the beginning, but then he pulled it back. So good job, good job. Um, that's about it. Oh, also for Scion Esports for paying us 5K a month for tier 3.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely love it. But Gummy, with that, that's gonna about be our time. Want to give you a big thanks and a big congratulations to you and your team for the MVP vote, for the win, coming through and just answering a few questions with us.
Thanks. Have a nice day.
You as
too.
well. Now, let's just kind of recap what happened here. It's not going to be the longest recap because we did see the 4-0, but Scion, they went on to they started off on Busan. It came out pretty positively on that one. Then it was King's Row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Again, won it at Streets phase, right?
Yes, point B, right around as you cross the bend, Citizens was stopped there, and that was just pretty much it. Scion Esports took it all the way through. Much faster take on point A as well, despite initially a very strong defense from Citizens.
Yeah. And then I believe it moved on to Rialto, where we saw a very similar thing to King's Row, just at very close to the second point. So overall, kind of a rinse repeat situation. The compositions had the potential to be a little different, although we did end up just kind of seeing a mimic comp coming through from coming through from King's Row into Rialto. And then finally we wrapped it up on Oasis, where I think we saw, at least certainly Scion, have the most fun here, coming up with a couple new strategies and, if I say so, a well-executed dive.
I do actually like it. The fact that they didn't practice it just speaks to the cohesion of the team, no pun intended. If you're gonna have that kind of dive when you're not even working on it constantly, that's just it right there. I would love to see these teams again, and thank goodness we're going to be seeing at the barest minimum Scion Esports in the Open Division this weekend, as well as the All-Star Brawl next month. Digging it. And you know what, the other thing, so coming out there on Oasis, maybe that's a hint of things to come. We mentioned before that there's the PTR in the works, and the developer update announced a humongous change possibly to the way that Overwatch is going to be played. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm curious as to how that's going to shake out. Curious as to what the teams are going to start doing. It might turn out that maybe switches like Gummies, where he's flipping around on some heroes a bit. With hero pools, most players might have to start being a little more flexible on who they play.
Yeah, I do. It gives me a little bit of a memory of some tournament I casted a few months ago. I can't remember the name of the tournament, but they did something like hero bans, hero saves. It was a pretty neat process. So I'm really glad that we're going to be seeing that come into favor here in the actual Overwatch game. We might potentially see that in the future. No definite words yet from the All-Stars Brawl 5. We're going to be seeing that come into the rule sets, although I imagine we're going to let the kinks get hammered out first. Expect that.
Hey, we
maybe
did
a
it
little
first.
later. Yeah. But overall, I think we are about ready to wrap up. Wouldn't you say, Threepwood?
I think this is it. This is going to be my last cast for a little bit of the long times. I have to take February off. But of course, Sir Waltham and the rest of the production staff will be here ready to bring you killer games, one right after the other. So remember to follow the stream, hit us up on YouTube for the recordings, and of course, we have the Discord being dropped in the chat constantly. It's your place to be for Overwatch awesomeness. And with that, I have been 3.007.
And likewise, I have been Sir Waltham. You can find us on our respective social media handles, 3.007 and Sir Waltham, Twitch and Twitter. I hope I got that right, Threep. And for those of us here at the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to these grand finals here. Once again, a big congratulations to Scion Esports for overtaking Citizens in a neat 4-0. Both teams walked away with a little bit of cash. We want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope you guys have a safe night and have fun out there, everybody.